Dragons have been a part of many myths and folklore all around the world. Whether they were a part of our ancestors' vivid imagination or ingrained in our brains to fear reptilian creatures along our timeline of evolution is up to debate. Some of the dragons like Smaug and Drogon from live-action movies and shows are shown to be frightening and terribly magnificent. But what about the dragons from animated flicks? In this video, we shall be showcasing to you the dragons from the TV animated series and movies of the franchise of How to Train Your Dragon, and this list will be all about the 10 biggest dragons from that franchise. And included with the list are the size, abilities and appearances. So here we go. Number 10. The Fireworm Queen. This queen dragon of the race of Stoker-class fireworm dragons was first seen in Dragons, Riders of Berk. Fireworm queens or princesses look similar in appearance to the average fireworm but have some differences that make them stand out from the rest. For instance, while the common fireworm can fit in the palm of a hand, the queen is many times bigger. When not heated up or near a nest, the fireworm queen's normal skin color is a pale gold with tan-colored horn spots and underbelly. She also doesn't glow at this state. All fireworms can heat up their skin to a temperature expressed to be hotter than the sun, hot enough to be able to burn almost anything. Fireworm queens are very powerful bright napalm type fire breaths that emit small firework-like particles. These queens are 89 feet long, which is 27 meters, and weigh more than 2.7 tons. Number 9. The Whispering Death. At the next spot comes the weirdly shaped dragons called the Whispering Death. These are a class of boulder type dragons that are first mentioned in the first HTTYD movie. They are very destructive and aggressive in nature, attacking anything in their way and are generally feared by everyone. They usually live in underground tunnels where they bury themselves using a burrowing attack against enemy or prey. They have big heads with small wings and rows of spines everywhere, and also have a very long tail that swirls in a circular motion. Aside from their super strong teeth and jaw muscles, they can also shoot out their spines as an offensive move. They can breathe hot circular rings of fire and are very agile, durable and intelligent. These dragons' heads are over 7 feet tall, but their length is 95 feet long or 29 meters and weigh close to 1 ton. Number 8. The Scauldron. The Scauldrons are mostly considered as non-fire breathers, but they seemingly possess sources of heat other than the body temperatures that are most likely reminders of their terrestrial or ancestral abilities. First referred to by Fishlegs in the first movie as having the ability to spew out hot scalding water, these dragons made their debut in the Riders of Berk. This dragon species is an aquatic tidal class dragon. This dragon is gigantic, growing up to a size nearly the same as many giant cetaceans. They have the ability to heat the water they suck in. Its tail is like that of a fish, helping it to swim. When filled with water, the Scauldron's stomach protrudes out and becomes very round. Its neck is very long and thin, and its head is usually fairly slender, with the bottom jaw having some sort of a pouch that hangs from its chin. They weigh in more than 1.3 tons and are 102 feet long or 31 meters. Number 7. The Typhoomerang. This is a Stoker-class dragon that first appeared in the Riders of Berk. They are very large dragons and they come in a variety of colors including blue, yellow, red and orange. They have 2 very large horns and orange eyes. The legs are exactly like that of a monstrous nightmare. They look like a mixed breed of a monstrous nightmare and a timberjack. The Typhoomerang's fiery breath resembles a giant tornado that can burn anything in its path except for those that remain right in the middle of it. They are capable of spewing large ropes of fire reaching several dozen meters in length. Typhoomerangs possess immense strength, which combined with their large size and weight make them one of the strongest non-alpha dragons known to Vikings. These dragons can grow to a length of 128 feet or 39 meters long and have a wingspan of over 200 feet wide from tip to tip. Number 6. The SUP Mareeba. The next one on the list is a gigantic deep-sea dragon that creates whirlpools and tidal waves to bring prey down to its waiting jaws. The SUP Mareeba is a large tidal class dragon and also a tracker class dragon that first appeared in Dragons Race to the Edge. The SUP Mareeba can be recognized by distinctive foul-smelling bubbles that appear when it draws near. It reacts to vibrations in the water above it and will follow them in the hopes of encountering food. The SUP Mareeba has proven to be an extremely strong dragon because it was able to take on a titan wing Shellfire by using a full body tackle on the larger dragon. The SUP Mareeba can be best described as being similar in appearance to an eel with legs. It is close to 150 feet or 45 meters long, even though some websites state it to be only 50 feet long, which are wrong. Number 5. Shellfire. A large tidal class dragon that first appeared in Dragon's Race to the Edge. The Shellfire is an enormous deep-sea dweller with a crustacean appearance. The Shellfire glides through the ocean at incredible speeds and tows the Dragon Hunter battleship bolted to its back. The Shellfire is a gigantic titan-winged deep-sea dragon with a flat, hard-backed shell for protection. The Shellfire can launch huge flaming boulders that explode like giant cannonballs. It has 2 long, slightly curved horns on the sides of its head. Shellfires are capable of shooting a series of large plasma-charged boulders. These projectiles can be fired in rapid succession like a mortar and hit like bombshells. The Shellfire's armored carapace is so durable and resistant that it enables it to endure almost anything, even numerous blows from its natural enemy, the SUP Mareeba, showing no signs of injury, only slight irritation. These dragons are over 160 feet or almost 49 meters long. Number 4. The Screaming Death. This scary boulder-class dragon is a gigantic, heavy mutated Whispering Death. According to Fishlegs, it is not documented in the Book of Dragons. As it is born every 100 years or so, the Screaming Death has all the strengths of its subordinate cousin, the Whispering Death, with none of its weaknesses, as it can fly in the day without being hurt by the light. It is the most powerful dragon Burke has ever faced since the Red Death. Like the Whispering Death, the Screaming Death likes to tunnel, consuming sea stags and decimating entire islands. It is white in color, has large red eyes, a longer and more massive body, and a large tail. Despite the Screaming Death's size, its wings are only the size of a Scauldron's. Some websites underestimate its size at only 50 feet long, but they are clearly wrong, as we estimated them to be between 200 and 300 feet long, or between 60 and 90 meters. Number 3. The Red Death. This enormous species is the main antagonist of the first How to Train Your Dragon film. The Red Death is a gigantic dragon. Her head is heavily armed with a nasal horn, a coral-shaped frill, with jaws that are lined up with huge sword-like teeth. The Red Death possesses 3 pairs of eyes that gives it little to no blind spots. Her coloration is mainly blue with orange underside, and its enormous body sports coral-like spines as well as red spikes and a clubbed tail. The Red Death's methane-based flame jets are enormous and are powerful enough to take down an entire fleet of Viking ships in just one breath. Her entire body is heavily armored with dense scales, horns, and coral-like frills, enabling the titanic beast to perforate, pierce, and demolish enormous rock cliffs of the volcano and smaller mountains on the sides. According to legend, she lives for 2,000 years and could grow up to 400 feet in length, and also has subspecies like the green and the violet deaths. Number 2. The Forever Wing. This is a gigantic mystery-class dragon that first appeared in Dragon's The Rise of Burke. The Forever Wing is a colossal dragon. It has a woody brown color and what seems to be like branches at the back of its head and below its chin. These branch-like objects resemble hair and a beard. With small, kind eyes and an aged appearance, this dragon looks rather old and wise. The Forever Wing has thick foliage such as trees and vegetations on its back. The Forever Wing produces copious amounts of lava, which is powerful enough to destroy entire villages. In addition to lava, the Forever Wing is able to shoot small blasts of green acid, as revealed in Dragon's Titan Uprising. These blasts require less energy than lava, but are much more weaker than it. It also looks similar to a turtle. This dragon is truly gigantic in size, but since its size was never stated, we can only estimate it to be a little bit bigger or at the same size with the Red Death at over 400 feet long or 122 meters. At number 1. The B Wildebeest. At the apex of a dragon's hive chain of command rules an exceedingly large and rare alpha dragon to which all others bow to. This is the B Wildebeest. It is a gigantic tidal class dragon that first appeared in How to Train Your Dragon Part 2. B Wildebeests are incredibly massive, spiky dragons with a pair of massive tusk-like horns protruding from its sides of the head and huge multiple wings. The front side of their bodies are covered with burr-shaped like spikes, along with 2 lines of spikes along the eyelids, giving an impression of eyebrows. and B Wildebeest's most notable and feared ability is to burst streams of ice turning water on contact. It does this by sucking up and ingesting masses of water from the sea and storing it in the goiters down its neck. Although it is the king of all dragons and alpha species, it cannot fly but can swim and stay underwater for extended periods of time. This leviathan is the biggest dragon species and measures 520 feet long or 158.5 meters. B Wildebeests are also quite impressive architects, fashioning near impenetrable nests for their flocks or hive. And with that, we come to the end of the list. Do like, share and subscribe for more related content on monsters, kaijus, creatures, dragons and more.